I think, I don't know if I told you that day when I said God told me to sew my wristwatches.
No.
So you think it's the watch that is making you who you are. Go and sew it. Let's see if your heart is truly yielded to me.
You may know her as the unforgettable Risky, from her hit skits and films, or for her bold footprints in the world of fashion and influence. She's the face of content creation, acting, and storytelling in this generation. But who is Ariyiike when the camera stops rolling? This isn't just a conversation about her achievements. She opens up about her life, her personal experiences with love, and healing from grief after losing her dad. Get ready to dive into the world of Ariyiike Dimples.
A lot of men, they look macho and everything, but I have spoken to men that even have all the billions and this. A lot of them are intimidated. They have complex issues.
The Open Up Podcast Season 3 Global Edition is brought to you by Credit Dara.
My friend!
Alright,
I
to be here.
The energy is always on point. Welcome to the Open Up Podcast.
Thank you.
So, see, this is very special to me because Ariyiike is someone that we usually interview people together. So to sit down and interview her is like, it feels like a full circle moment.
I know, but the circle never really full.
Yeah,
I have to interview
the circle is still...
That's when it is full.
That's when it is full. But you know what? I would like to say that kudos to us because it means that we have done something.
We have
Before
grown.
you can sit down and be talking, means there's something to talk about.
Sister, my eyes have seen.
Your eyes have really seen. And you know, when I was like, Ariyiike needs to come on this podcast. So I was just in her sitting room. She had graduated and I was just listening to her talk. I was like, my friend, they're very wise. So I was like, let's just talk about it. So this episode, if it's going to be hilarious or friendly, is because we're actually friends.
Genuinely.
So permit us. Okay?
We're not Instagram friends. We are genuine friends.
Yeah. That's a lesson right there.
If you know, you know.
I like to say in all the episodes that when I want to start the conversation, I like to go back to the very beginning because before you know a person, and even what we're talking about off camera, that you might be friends with someone, you don't know a whole lot about them.
Absolutely.
So I like to go back to the very beginning. I like to go back to childhood. So how was it like for Ariyiike?
Growing up. Growing up was interesting for me, honestly. From the fact that, one, I had a very interesting family background. Very, very strict.
You had,
know what
like,
I mean.
4 brothers, right?
Yeah, 4 brothers. And then I had like cousins that were living with us as well. So I would always say I have 7 brothers. And then I had like sisters living with us as well. So my dad was trying to replicate the Mama Ekundayo thing where he just gave to people. And even though those that couldn't live with us, I remember that my dad we had 2 cars and he had someone that would drive the Toyota. We had like a bus and we would stand at Abule Ijesha bus stop to pick up students going to Our Lady, Command Secondary School, Command Primary School, Philomena. Like there are so many schools around that Yaba period. So we have those people.
For all of you to go to school
together. Yes,
together.
all of us to go to school together and stuff like that. He just wanted to serve. That man, like now that he's no more, right? I'm like, oh my God, this man lived an interesting life. But then growing up, I was just like, why do I have to sit down with this? Because all those command children, maybe because they're in military school, they used to bully me.
This is my father's car now.
And my dad is more thousands than I'm from. But then they say, will you go to the back? Let's just sit down there. I'm like, if you know that you really want to sit down in front, why your dad no buy more? So, so just those things. Also, my growing up was also very interesting, and I feel like it is the reason, it has become a blessing to me now. Then we were living in the Yaba, in the village, and all those very weird spaces. My father really invested in education. So you are going to school in places where the kids of the creme de la creme are coming to the elite. And they're not really accepting you because they're like, she lives in Yaba. But you get home, you want to play with the children of the streets. They're like, oh, this one, I'm gonna get inside. So it felt like we were not accepted
anywhere.
And that really shaped me in terms of just being the weirdo that a lot of people feel or think that I am. But I think it's a blessing because I've always just not been the person to follow the crowd.
This right here, this is the life we signed up for. Not just any life. A life that moves how we move. While everyone else is stressing about money problems, we're living on our own terms. This is the life that keeps us one step ahead.
Bye, guys.
Where we can enjoy and live in the moment. Why? Because it's our rules, our fun.
Hey, baby girl.
Hey, big head. Don't forget to get that laptop with your credit limit before it expires.
Ha, how can I?
This is freedom. This is flex without the stress. This is soft life. This is Credit Direct. Download the Credit Direct app now and start living the soft life for real.
So early enough in life, I was able to just stand out on my own and say, look, I love friendships, I love these things, but if we're not going on the same path,
It's okay.
it's okay. I know where, I learned early enough that friendships end, period.
Wow.
People
What's
move-
a lesson to learn as a child?
My sister,
Mm.
I lost my sister. So I know that people come into your life, they go as well.
Mm.
So so many things happened for me from childhood that now I'm sitting back and I'm reflecting. I'm like, God, you have literally been building me from before I even became aware of it. So I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm not trying to, get a yes from you because darling, from primary one, you're not my friend. You stay smelly abule in Cheshire. Okay, sorry. I did my day. Do you understand? You get home, you see the children pushing tire, you want to join them too. Like, this thing is cruise. They tell you, I'm gonna get inside, go and drive your bicycle. They're not really accepting. So I just learned to grow on my own and do my things. And it's the reason why I love reading. Because I discovered reading growing up as well. So I loved reading. I stopped at some point too because life got, cannot be in Lagos and you're hustling. Then you want to read. Which time we get to read book? But I think after my dad passed, I reconnected to that part of me again where I had that 4 months of stillness, this, and I was in America doing absolutely nothing but sleeping, waking up, praying, reading, and reading journals, Bible, Bible devotionals and stuff like that. And that just kicked off the whole reading for me again. And I'm like, wait, this is who you have always been. This is a discovery for you again. So just stay, the real discovery. So just stay there. But yeah, it was an interesting journey. I had.
What about the fact that you had so many brothers? Did that make you? Tougher or something? Was it more interesting?
It was interesting because they were very protective of me. My brothers, I think it's now that I'm using scope to be letting them know that I'm a woman. People cannot be doing anyhow. My eldest brother, for example, if he sees a guy with me talking to me, it's not like he's going to be, he won't exactly be, oh, don't talk to my sister. But I always see his face. He's already like,
who is that one?
Even the way he go greet the guy. Yeah. Nice to meet you. I'm a brother. Oh God, nobody follow the dragon. I'm a brother. It's okay, But I feel like it's a man thing where it's like protect my I'm protecting my sister. So that made me tough to a large extent. Yes, it made me tough because when you have sisters and you're grown up, your kind of play is I'm a baby. My own was not like that. My own, let's play wrestling.
Wrestling.
So you're fighting Giribo. Because I watch your call guy. So I'm trying to do summer slam. They broke my back, say. I'm not crying. I miss my daddy. They broke my daddy. So you to stop playing rough with them. Go and read your book. I was like, but I want to play with them. So those are the kind of things I was used to. Then I really, really, and till now, I still love boys' clothes. So I was a tomboy. I wouldn't say a full tomboy, but I just like their clothing. I like the way they used to walk and the way that So some male things I used to like.
Yeah.
Somebody behind this camera, I know that I used to tell him before that I wanted to have power bike. But my father said, the boy you were. Go and buy it. So things like that.
So it was quite
It
interesting.
was interesting. I mean, I had moments where I was bullied. I was really bullied as a child. I was really, really bullied. I was bullied because of my eyes. I was bullied. It was a lot. At some point when I lost my sister, I know that some insensitive kids, and now I can say insensitive, but at the time I just knew that they were stupid kids. Then I'm like, they did not raise you people well. When I lost my sister, they were like, that I think their mom told them that maybe I'm a witch. I mean, I don't want, I don't want sisters. So I killed my sister.
How old were you guys at this time?
At the time, I was 13.
This is what 13-year-olds were talking about.
Yes. So they stopped playing with me and talking to me, and then you're going to go and maybe grind pepper or do those normal things, and somebody's calling you Olojukon, or they are calling you Emiri, or those kind of Ogbanje, you killed your sisters,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I think I learned to shut my ears early enough. I mean, even though it took a while, but those things, I looking back at them now, I'm thinking, if all these things did not break me, nothing else can break me. So when people say, oh, don't you get trolled? Don't people, they do. I pre-block people. That's another thing. If I'm watching something on Amanda's page and I see that you say something foolish, I block you so that you don't come near me. You will never have access to me.
Ariyiike, please.
Ever.
You pre-block people.
I pre-block them. Oh, before you bring your stupidity to my page, I've blocked you. Also, if you come to my page to say rubbish, I first of all ask myself 2 questions. Is this coming from a place of love? And is this coming from a place of just genuine correction or criticism? If it's none of the 2, sorry, block. I block unapologetically. I don't take time to engage you because I'm bringing myself to your level. I will not. And most of it, now that I'm fully in Christ, what I do is I just intercede for you. I say, God, I caught this person. Except your handle is not something that is your name. If it's your name,
4, 5, 6.
All those
XYZ.
has Kaliwuni, his what? I can't. But if it is Shola something, I say, God, this Shola person, let this person have an encounter with you that will give them sense and understand life from this context. Simple, but I will still block you. So you don't bring your foolishness next time to my page.
Okay, we'll get onto that blocking. But so when was it that you now decided that, or when was it that you discovered that you liked media?
I've always liked media. So let me not say I've always liked media. Let me explain it. I wanted to do theater arts because I've always been artistic. I would draw. I know to paint. It's pencil that this normally give me. Let me not lie. I would draw, and then I would always lead cultural dance in school, debates, act in church and in school. So it just felt very natural to me, and I loved it. And at the time, as a child as well, I loved the applause. Like people would always come after church and say, your daughter, she's so good as an actress. She played Anna very well. That pregnancy, Or we go to the end of their party. She's such a great dancer. She led the dance troupe.
So you're part of
I go through it. But so I wanted to do theater arts. I went to arts class. I knew that was, at some point, let me know, I was still saying that I was going to be a doctor because my mom worked in Luth. So going to Luth, I'll see fine girls and fine boys wearing the, white coats. I'm like, this thing go fits me. But when I got to SS1, I see blood.
It's not for me.
I didn't even do 1 week in science class. I moved to art class. So I stayed there and I was going to do theater arts. I told my dad, and my dad said, I cannot pay your school fees to do theater arts. Let's make a pact. Let's try get a deal. You do something else, then I will now sponsor you to film school. It sounded like a good plan. So I now started to look for things that were close to. So I think I remember it was a girl in my class, Damilola. She said, she wants to be a newscaster, and because talking is my forte. I said, well, doing this, so I'm sure she would understand. I tell you, like, talking is my forte. So I want to be a newscaster, So I'm studying mass comm. When you're just talking about what are you feeling in your form? I think we were in SS2. And I said mass comm. There was no Google that time. And I started asking, people question, what's mass com? Also, if I want to be a newscaster, I'll do mass com. And this cuckoo used to say in the house that I talk too much. Maybe I can start making money from talking. Oh, okay. That was it for me. And I put mass com. First option, second option, because it's like say nothing day again. And that was what it was for me.
But did you enjoy it?
I did. I fell in love with the camera. I did. So before when I got into 100 level, no, when I was a jam bite, jam. When I was a jam bite, I did my first jam and I was supposed to get into school. I never wanted to go to Unilag or certain schools, and I didn't want to go to Redeemers at the time because it was like another option because my dad used to do stuff for them. But I was like, I don't want to go to Redeemers. All the children in my secondary school that I don't really like, they went to Redeemers. I don't want to be seeing these people. So I picked LASU. I didn't pick Unilag because I had a best friend at the time who I felt like had a great, strong influence on me. That if I'd gone to Unilag, maybe they would have rusticated me. Basically.
People are very mischievous.
Yes. So I knew, that's why I said, as a child, now I'm looking back and I'm like, I've always been self-aware. I knew for a fact that this girl can mislead me. Let me not go to this school. So I chose LASU and I put mass comm, and they had put my name, and then later we didn't see my name. It was a long story. So I had to do part-time. At the time, I was doing a computer course in NIT. And during that period, I got like a radio thing I met a girl who was on radio and she needed an assistant. So I didn't mind. I've always been this person that wanted to learn. So I just said, okay, I'll work for you. You don't need to even pay me. Let me just work for you. And I worked with her for 2 years and she was on radio. So sometimes when she's not available, I sit in for her. So I had to do 100 level again because I wrote jam again to now enter 100 level fully. So by the time I was repeating 100 level, remember I done part-time. So I knew what they were teaching them. So I barely went to school.
Okay.
I would attend classes and just go do my radio thing. I started doing events and stuff like that. And I just realized that this whole thing is intertwined. Media is this. But I then decided not to do broadcasting, but production. So I did production. I was in the production department. That was how I met the person behind the camera shooting for us. Because this used to help me my assignment. Let me not lie.
Talk about Ladi Milan films, in case you want to know.
So it would sometimes when I'm stuck, I'll go and meet him. I'm like, oh my God, I like this assignment. I don't know how to go about it. Like, just shoot it like this, do like this. And I was close to him. I was close to one other person as well, and a lecturer that was in charge of the production of the school's radio unit and whatnot too. So I just started doing those things and everything just started to align. Started aligning as I was doing events.
How old were you when you did this radio gig?
I think I was 16, turning 17. I was very young.
That is what I wanted to ask. That now coming from a home where you had all your 7 brothers. Bro. So there's a lot of protection. Of course, your dad, your mom. Yeah. And then not entering an industry where you need guidance, basically.
Yep, absolutely.
And you're very young. How are you able to navigate that?
Honestly, I would say that, yes, my brothers and, my family, they did their bit. But at that point, I was left with just me and the fear of God. And I always tell people, your upbringing does a lot for you. There were certain things that in my head, I already knew I can't do this. One, I can't sleep with you to get anything from you. And I boldly say it, anything I have done, if you try to attach sleeping with you to it, I'm off. Even if I liked you, like, this is their CEO, fine. Then I enter your office and I'll say, we're going to do this for you, we're going to do that for you. But,
yeah, let's have lunch.
Cut it. It's done. It's so done. So those things were in my head. I don't know where it came from, but there was just this thing of, okay, I would say I know. Now I remember where it came from. Like growing up, they would always pray and say things like, don't bring shame to the family. So me, I always said it that I won't bring shame to the family. I would get married. My mom used to give me gist of how men were chasing her and they would say, that even when she got married and she was carrying her baby, one man that used to chase her looked at her and said, so you can born. So it means that I used to see man this thing. Because my mom used to.
After all the shakara.
You get. So I was like, oh, that I thought that was cute and I wanted that. You get what I mean? And I had to give myself brain. I remembered also where I was coming from. My dad is someone who was very, very hardworking, and that man is an angel. Not saying anybody can say to me. No one could have raised me apart from that man. I don't care about Dangote. I don't care about all these people. Money is not everything. That man raised me, and he instilled certain things inside my heart. So it was there. It was there. And I just knew that someone, your background is different, all these people. And this was when the industry was about, if you don't have phone, you cannot get job. If you're not an IJGB or your dad is not up there or this and that, you're not getting jobs. Sexual harassment. Now, maybe I don't know what it's really like because I'm not really there like that. But it was literally in your face. I had someone not pay me salary and my boss was telling me boldly that, the other people that are talking about that are living good life and everything,
What do you think
they don't collect salary now. That's why we are giving you access to all these events where you're meeting politicians. So use your brain.
Wow.
I remember saying to him, I said, sir, like sarcastically, it was Dala Oriwari and I. And we just looked at each other and said, We now said to the man, we said, sir, since you could know that you want to open shop for prostitution, maybe you should give us answer it that we'll be using. Do you know that's actually brought CUG lines for us? That if we don't want to give them our personal numbers, but they can be talking to those.
He didn't get it.
He didn't get it. He didn't. So me, I just knew that it's a thing where my mom's voice and my dad's voice, remember the child of whom you are. They'll say it in Yoruba, remember where you are coming from. The days of the gari, we chop on with joy. The days of the fried rice, we chop on with joy. I would always tell people that it was in 200 level I realized that I wasn't a rich kid. It dawned on me that, you're not a rich kid. Because there were days...
happiness.
There was a day... there were days where we would drink Gary, but we didn't know that it was because mommy and I didn't have money. We were just happy that, it's Sabo Suya today. Today is Sabo Suya. Oh my God, today. And we're excited. We didn't know that it was a thing of, there's no money. There was a time when I remember as well, my dad and I would take bus because I was always close to my dad. My brothers and everybody, they would school somewhere else, but my school was always close to my dad's school and dad's office. So we would go to work together. We bonded a lot. I would go to sites with him and things like that. And I remember that we were entering bus, but I knew we had 2 cars. I didn't know that the man had, God had told the man to give his cars out to sow it into the lives of people. And he was genuinely broke and God was pruning him. Now that I've been pruned, I know what it means to be pruned. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, it's now I'm thinking back to a lot of things.
And having
I'm
understanding.
just, my journey the past 2 years has been interesting because it's like a new day comes, I'm discovering something new. I'm like, so this was what this was, you know? But I just felt like my daddy had 2 cars, maybe he's in mechanic place. I liked entering the bus. I just liked the cruise of, so my Joko, so my dad would not be like, no, sit down. No, I'm not lapping. I'm like, my dad needs to lap me side, but my mom, I'm going to be lapping somebody. My dad, those were the little simple things of life made me happy. I think it was a 200 level that mommy was like, daddy, this and that. I said, wait, so I'm not Dangote child. Wow. And from that 200 level, I said to them, don't worry about my own school fees. I'm okay. Plus ushering job, plus my radio job that I was doing. There was real radio in Nigeria at the time, which was a trial. I would say they were trying out internet radio, which maybe people call podcast now, I guess. But the woman had come to Nigeria to try it out, and I was doing that as well. I was not hosting, but I'll do red carpet, but they're not paying us. I was just learning.
Yeah.
I was just, my sister, don't stay any.
I find this very interesting because I know you have always found joy in simple things. You're the person that I want to eat amala. That's how you have always been. But there's also the Ariyiike that loves the good life.
I do.
You like to, wear the best clothes.
I do.
Like to look good.
I do.
Like to drive a nice car. If you ever enter Ariyiike's house, you ask yourself, is this the hotel before we get to your house? So as that kind of person, because I don't think that interest is just a today thing. How are you able to because you would have been tempted. Yeah. It's not like temptation will not have come. You would have been tempted with money. You'd have been tempted with a lot of things. Is it not just a little kiss? Is it not just a little that? How are you able to stay true? Or were there times that you fell or something like that?
Honestly, I would say that I did fall one time. I'm not going to lie about it. I did fall at some point. And it didn't come as a temptation in the beginning. And now that's why I say when they say the devil comes and he appears as an angel of light, it's not light, but he appears as such. That was what it was for me. Like this person just came into my life like, I've always known you. You're very stern. You're very disciplined. You're very this. You're very that. What you're not going to do, you're not going to do. But calm down. I want to do partnership with you. And I'm like, you are my friend, Fort. So I need to speak to my friend first to know if she's okay with me signing a deal with your company, you know. And I spoke to my friend. My friend was like, oh yeah, sure. Like when it comes to work, this person, you know, he doesn't joke with his work, so just do it and stuff like that. But, you know, just be careful. Make sure that you sign contracts. But, you know, he's a good person. It's just that me and him, the whole dating thing didn't kind of work and stuff like that. No, okay, cool. No problem. No wahala. And I just kept it pushing. So we had signed that contract, and then he had just come back. He came back and he was like, oh, he wanted to gift me something. Then he just sent me more money. How are you signing, for example? You are signing a deal of 10 million naira, but then the person just dashes you 20 million naira.
For nothing.
For nothing. It didn't really stay. It didn't settle in my brain. I was just like, oh my God, really? Oh, wow. You know, and then they came up with like a new contract and added some things to my medicine. And I paused. And also because of the kind of family I'm from, I told my family members, and they're like, are you sure that this person is not doing money laundry? Are you sure that this and that? Because this thing, no. But I just felt like, God, I trust you. You will not let me fall into a trap that would destroy me or ruin me. So just open my eyes and help me to stay discerning and all that. And I just got carried away, you know, and then the person started calling me a lot, and I just kept talking to him like, oh, maybe it's the way that I'm talking that, maybe not the wisdom, they bring the money now, favor of God now, you know, until I think months after he was like, but you belong to me.
Eh?
You say white. You say white. How I belong to you. It's like, you know, I've always liked you from 2017 that I met you, yada, 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 yada. I waited 5 years. Yeah? Uncle, I can't explain. When you came, I took place endorsement. Then you know about all these other extra things, so you don't like me back, and then it became a manipulative thing. And I literally went through that struggle. There days I'll block him, and then I would, for some weird reason, need something, and I'll be like, "This is the only person I can talk to." It was tough, and I think it was 2 months after the Holy Spirit said to me, "You know, you have made this person your source, and God is your source. Cut this person off." And don't lead by the flesh. And then another challenge was for me to go and tell the person that, see, let me know, like, I've just been talking to you and leading you on because I'm enjoying what I'm benefiting from you, you know. And I did that. I told him that, and still he was like, okay, thank you for telling me, but I don't see you differently. I was like, this is not ordinary. Then I started praying a lot. Like, I'm a CSC child, so when I enter warfare prayer, I know what it that mean. Bro, my neighbors, sometimes they text me, auntie, bring it down. Like, I went into it full on. I did the 7 days, and I blocked him. And I just left it at that. That thing, it shook me. Oh. This thing I just summarized, it really shook me. And I was like, oh, so when I'm praying this prayer of God, reveal my tendencies to me, you're revealing to me that I can some way, somehow submit to money. Wow. Now that I know this has been revealed. This revelation is victory already. Money is nothing to me. And the moment I started saying that, things dwindled badly. But God started to show me, you can totally depend on me. God started to show me, I'm your source and your sustainer. Things started to happen. And I'm just like, even in the most random things, I'm like, God, you really have my back. Like, I'm really your baby. So yes, that one time I did fall because it didn't come as, oh, sleep with me. It was a gradual thing. And I realized that, no, I have to stay more discerning.
Yeah.
You know?
I think privilege of being your friend, we have discussed some parts of this. And there was one thing that we used to joke about when we were working, at some point, worked in TVC together. And we like, Ariyiike get head for money. Somebody will just go like,
okay, yeah, that was a thing.
It was a thing. 3 or 4 of us, myself, her, Foladele, Jay, like maybe 5, say, we'll go out, all of us sit on the same table. Somebody will just come from nowhere and stone her bundle of money. Like, just bypass the 4 of us. Just bypass the 4 of us, stone her money. As we're still even hailing her about that money, another person will now come. Risky! The money will now fly. This girl, open her bag, mint.
Bro,
it was a thing.
Till
tomorrow. Always having mint. And then recently we sat down, we're talking, and then you were saying that you realized that was not necessarily the
Yeah.
best thing.
Mm.
Can you like break that down for, people who were
Okay,
not there?
yeah. So I noticed that pattern even before people started to like notice it around me. Even it's one of the things that has caused a lot of friendship breakups for me, because they just keep thinking, what's with this girl? She's definitely doing jazz. But bro, I don't. Which jazz? The only jazz I know is Jesus. Okay, So people are just wondering, like, how do we? That it's happened in different ways, not just money. But I might just maybe walk you somewhere to do something, and then I'm chosen, and you're like, but I only told you to follow me. So enmity. That's why I get plenty friendship breakups. So if people genuinely come and tell you that I'm a bad person, maybe not from there, because I've realized that it's a grace. It's a special grace that I carry, and I'm grateful to God for it. And what it was for me was I started to realize that when people give me money, I got this feedback from two people. Holy Spirit helped me to say this without saying too much. I got this from two people. An ex of mine, even though we've broken up for 10 years now, he still sends me money. Last week, he still sends me money. But what I've now started doing is disburse the money to bless lives. So I don't use it for myself anymore. But then it was just randomly send me money. Randomly. And I didn't understand it. And then there was a day we were talking. He now said, So I said I was fighting with him or something like that. And he was like, please, let's not fight though. That, that you are my blessing. Once I give you money, I used to notice that I get more money.
Wow.
So if I give you, for example, 10 million naira, I get like a millionfold of that. I didn't understand it because we were saying it in the context of just laughing. I just say, my head is strong, it's mumu. I say, my head is strong, God love me. And then I was speaking to someone else again, and the person said, I like giving you. I get it in multiple folds. Now I'm very spiritual. There are certain things that even if you are joking, if you say it, I carry it. I carry prophecies, I sit on it and I tell God, what is this about? Reveal this to me. So I prayed about it. I was like, God, what is this about really? And it's like, you're a multiplying vessel. Yes, women are meant to be multiplying vessels, but there's a special grace for yours. But some people have come to tap from it that their source was not right. So you now have to be discerning of who you take from and who you don't take from. So that's now, it's not, I don't take money from any hour. I told you about, there was a time when we were still in TVC now that I sat down, I think it was Crossroads.
Yeah, I think that's a
Cross Toys, the car, Crossroads, at Eco Hotel. And a man just walked up to me and gave me a check of like millions. And I don't know him. Between God and man, till today, I've not seen that man again. I've not seen that man again. So it's like, and imagine being my friend. I'm just saying like, Mandy, I just sat down and the man just brought this me. You look at me like, this girl think that we're foolish. Does she? So when friends get envious or they disconnect from me or start saying things like she's coded, she's lying, she's this, she's that, I don't question it anymore. Before I'm like, oh, but you see my heart. But what I've learned is the purity of your heart may not save you in so many situations. You have to stay connected to your source and be discerning. You'll be doing, my heart is pure to everybody.
I'm open.
I'm open. My open book, they didn't. Close your mouth. Zechariah, what did God do? He sealed his mouth till when they gave birth to John the Baptist before he would talk. So it's true. So I realized that, oh my God, in the process of my core values being, honesty, transparency, and clarity, I overshare. And these friends are looking at it like, I don't understand. Who are you? All these things, is it true? Some of them are seeing it like, because obviously when we go out, clear the bill. Money, I've always, I'm blessed by God, I swear, because I've always had an abundance mindset. Where it's like, we go out, what's the big deal? Clear the bill. Like, I don't need to be, Amanda, your money is 500, 800 kobo. It doesn't make sense to me. But some people are looking at it like she's trying to show off. She's trying to. So God had to separate me first and then highlight those things to me. And I'm like, God, let them not go and use my glory finish. I'm to be receiving the wealth of nations. Let them not take everything because So now I don't take money from just anybody. And when money comes to me that I'm not expecting, especially from certain people, I just disburse it immediately. I mean, I've come to realize I'm a stewarder. Like all this money. Because me then, and you know me now, I like good things. I buy bag, buy. I mean, I would always, one thing growing up, you're tight. My dad would give you 100 naira for food. There was a box in the house tight. All of us go and put our 10 naira, 20 naira inside. Visitor comes, they give you 1,000 naira. You go and put your 100 naira. So tithing is a part of me. So when I get those money, I would pay tithe. I have this 50, 30, 20 rule.
Okay.
Which is, I pay my tithe, 10%, and then the remaining 10% is for helping people and stuff. 30% is for my family. 50 is for me. So sometimes I save it, sometimes I spend it. But then I used to do lao. I didn't have sense to keep money at that time.
You were younger.
Yeah. So, and I was so focused on getting the good things of life and stuff. But I started realizing, are you letting these things define you? Do you think you're not? God has trained me. I don't know if I told you that day when I said God told me to sew my wristwatches.
No.
So you think it's the watch that is making you who you are. Go and sew it. Let's see if your heart is truly yielded to me. And honestly, it wasn't difficult. I think the one that was difficult was my first YouTube money. God, I know I'm on you. Why will I got so this one? But I still did. I obeyed. And every obedience, every level after I obey, there's just that message where it's like, you are unlocking so many doors that you don't even realize. And I'm just grateful for it.
Oh my gosh.
Now I'm careful. Dash money now. I don't know you want to give money. Yeah? From where? I will pray first. Or if it's
review the source.
Review the source, or I hold
very
it.
Deep.
God, how do I disburse this money?
Yeah.
Because also sometimes then the riches of the Gentiles, it's gonna come to you too.
Yeah.
So when it comes, God, this is our money. It's not our money, this is your money. How do you want me to disburse it? There are times that money have come to my hand. Maybe I need like 5 million naira to do something, and somebody gives me 5 million naira. God, how do you want me to lead this? How do you want me to do it? Oh, there's this person here that hasn't paid school fees. Sort this out. Oh, this person needs house. Pay their rent. No. And I do it. But then again, the truth is, I'm realizing that when I'm not actively opening my mouth to pray, there are people genuinely praying for me, saying nothing must happen to this girl because she's a blessing to us. And it took me back to the declarations that my dad would tell us to say. I'm a sign and a wonder. I'm a blessing to everyone around me. To my mommy, I'm a blessing. To my daddy, I'm a blessing. To my friends, I'm a blessing. Those things, we're not just saying them. It stayed. And now it's like everywhere you go, even if you know saying that took a day your account, you are a blessing to everybody. People see.
It's a mindset.
Do you get? As I'm working on something, I can tell you, see, now our budget, most of my people that work with me, they know. Look at the account. It's not like nothing is there, but guess what? We'll do that thing. And we'll do it excellently. So God had been building me from when I was a child. I just didn't know it. And I'm blessed to have the kind of father that I had. I
like the fact that we're having this conversation now because it's a very mature conversation.
From where we are coming from.
From where we're coming from all the rubbish we used to talk about.
Bruh.
It's a very mature conversation. And I think that if someone is watching, they might, if you're not there yet, it's okay. Eventually, you will be there.
Eventually.
But I do understand everything you're saying. And this is why I asked you this. But I want to go to a very sensitive point in this. Because no, don't be
my
scared.
chest is doing bad. Okay, let's go.
You have mentioned your dad.
Yeah.
Many times. You've mentioned his impact, the teachings and the things that you have learned. Of course, you've mentioned your family, but you mentioned your dad a lot. And I know that you lost your dad.
Yeah. 2 years ago.
2 years ago. And I know it was a very tough time for you. How was it like, first of all, navigating through that grief and even coming out of it? Because I know you mentioned it earlier. I just wanted to put a pin on it. You even traveled to the US 4 months, disappeared, didn't post and all of that. Like, how was that like for you?
Honestly, I would say that I before then, I used to say like I'm a very resilient person. Nothing can break me, yada, 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 yada. It was the one time that I felt like, oh my God, okay, life, you win. Like, life, you win. But in me saying life, you win, I was also saying, God, I don't think I can survive. Like, I would need you to survive this. because he was the closest person to me. And gosh, I love my dad so much. And I'm something is replaying in my head now. A video of him that my brother posted last week, because it was his posthumous birthday last week. He was walking on the streets. So that's what I just remembered. And I'm like, that broke me. But that was where I found God 3.0, because I've always been a child of God. I've always loved God. I was raised in a strong, not religious, spiritual home where outside of like the doctrines of my church and everything, there's also like constant Bible study. We have a family altar, all those kind of things, So I'm not new to having Bible time or stuff, even though I stopped for like 2-3 years at some point. When I first left the house, I said, we outside. And I was doing life like, now I can control my time. Which one be 7 p.m. There was a week in my life. In fact, there was a time in my life that every day of the week we're in church. Monday, Bible study. Tuesday, choir practice. And because we're like classically trained musicians, so you are reading music. It's so serious work. Wednesday, midweek service. Thursday, if there's anniversary or something, you are doing rehearsal again, choir practice. Friday, solution night. Saturday, you do choir practice. Then in the morning, we follow daddy to go and sweep church. Then Sunday, you are in church the whole day because my dad is in church the whole day.
So that was the whole week in church?
Yeah. So you go to school in the morning, but you don't have, there's no day they go church. No, the man is so in our life, then you are sleeping again. My dad is, I tell people all the time, till he passed, even when I just visit the house, maybe I just visit, he would lay his hands on us. I'm saying every day. I left the house when I was 17. 17 years of my life, every night, my father lays his hand on my head when I'm sleeping.
Oh.
And it's all of us. And even the children that were not his, that were living with us. Once he takes dinner at 8 o'clock, he falls asleep. He wakes up at like 12:01. I'm hearing my dad's voice. He's kabashing, he's praying, he's declaring, taking authority. You go, I do, you know what fear anointing? All of us. So that's also set a standard for me, spiritually, for myself. Like, I'm going to be like the covering. He was the priest. My mom too is solid though, but my dad, he understood his assignment. He was a priest, and he was a priest to the end of it. So when I even visit after like leaving the house, maybe on breaks, the man will sew something on my head again. I will go. So after 3 years of not going to church, because I just felt like I didn't like the doctrine of our church, they were overly strict. And I had this conversation recently where I said, our church did not invest in the youth. And now it feels like whenever you visit my home, like my roots church, you see only elderly people. You can barely see the young ones. The young ones have moved to other churches. It was too serious. But they didn't understand that, yes, you can have your doctrines, but there's a way that, you can simplify it and just take people in without judging. Me, the reason I stopped going to church was because a woman, I wore pencil skirts, and the woman said, I'm going to your fire. I'm like, God is not this deep now. So I stopped going to church for like 3 years. And thankfully, I was out of the house. And she now even reported me to my dad. The way she described the skirts, I had to, that my camera phone that was there, I had to take picture to send to my mommy that this is the skirt I do well. That they say FIR is calling my name. But my dad was the community will raise the child type of man. So it made me feel like, I'd rather not deal with these community people, so they're not even seeing me. And I didn't go to church for 3 years. And my friend had taught me like, let's start doing Bible time together. So we started doing Bible time together. And I got into my whole Bible time thing again, started doing my devotion. I started church hopping, trying to figure out where to be planted. Even though I wasn't strong spiritually, like, Holy Spirit, tell me, is this where it is? God had just been leading me some way, somehow, because I didn't leave the source some way, somehow. So when he passed, it was that thing where world stop. I really don't care for anything anymore. So many things, so many realizations all at once. One, seeing him being put into that pit, it's etched in my memory, where it's like, you live and care for people. And my dad lived his life in service, giving his life, giving his resources, giving his time, giving his effort, giving everything to people. And I felt like he never really got that back. So when they were putting him in, I was just like, this is where it all ends. Like, this is it. You're going there alone. And I don't know, for some weird reason, they were like, oh, to avoid soul ties and stuff like that, the wife has to drop, the wedding band and disconnect, like, well, you have to separate from his spirit or to avoid soul ties or something. When she dropped the ring, I'm just there like, who your wife and your husband no go follow you. Everybody's all man for your own. That was the first thing I learned. Like, never again am I going to. I mean, I will not live recklessly, but never again would I prioritize the opinion of someone else over what I want to do, over how I want to live my life, over what I want to do or say. You can advise me. I mean, I'll ask Holy Spirit this advice: take or leave. Because I always say it all the time. It's not pride or anything. Holy Spirit is my only advisor. Because even the voices that have been put into you in your life, there are sometimes that they might come with their own opinion of things, but you will need to check with the Holy Spirit and
if
say,
it's for you.
do you understand?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that was the first lesson. Second thing was, okay, God, I lost my identity. Who am I? Now I'm fatherless. I don't have a father again. It shook my identity. And I always tell people, like, death of a parent will shake your identity. It will. Because it did for me. And I think in my conversations with other people, I've realized that it a
does.
thing. Yeah. You just have to feel like, so I don't have a daddy anymore. So now when they're calling people that have daddy, so I don't belong. So when it felt like it was the end of my life. I was suicidal. My family didn't know this. I think I talked about it with Imam My God. I was suicidal. It was crazy. It was then, that season was one of the seasons where God first of all separated me from certain people that I thought were friends. And there were so many people that I thought would show up for me that didn't show up for me the way that I wanted them to. And I also understood that, unfortunately, it's just that thing where it's like, don't worry, your daddy too soon there.
Hey!
That was where I was. Am I going to lie? At the time, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, so you can do this. Okay. I don't wish your family dead. Do you understand? But you don't realize people... I've always been an empathetic person. I've always been that person that when you lose someone, I show up for you because, I mean, I've experienced lots of sisters. So it's like, I get it as a child. But it was the one loss that shook my everything. My faith in God, my existence in this life. Like, what is life? I kept asking God, this man did everything. Now that I even know consecration, I see this man consecrated his business, everything to you. And he's still no more. Why? Like, what is the essence of life? And all that I was left with was, when I was watching the Wake Cape, or I think it was Service of Song Back, people were literally fighting, not like fighting physically, but like, when we say, we can talk only one more person. Like, I know, but I'm not you. I'm going to talk about him more. It's my last respect to him. People had things to say. People that are now pastors today, that the man was not a pastor, but he, talking to them, mentoring them, made them become pastors that are like solid. And I'm looking at them like, all you would have left is how you made people feel. Were you good to them? What impact did you leave? And because I've always just been that impact person, maybe because he told me the story of Mama Ekundayo, I'd always just challenge myself like, oh my God, this woman I wanted to meet. I never met her till she passed, which I fought him about as well. But I was like, no, I want to live a life that I have something that outlives me. That my children, like a legacy that my children come into and they're like, man, mommy has already built this thing. We gotta keep it going, man. You know.
A foundation.
Not even necessarily like NGO, but like
no, I mean
a legacy, a foundation of legacy. Yeah, like, so I was just like, there's more to life than the dresses you wear. I mean, I like to look good. I love to smell good. But am I going to prioritize that over a child that I know needs to be in school? No. And I say this especially to the people in my industry, because you walk into a room, they're not trying to see the substance you have. They're gauging you. I hear conversations like, if you're going to pitch something, borrow bagu, borrow shoe, borrow car, borrow wristwatch, because then go gauge you based on those things. And I got into myself and said, no, if you're not going to give me something that would bless lives or something that would bless me, because when you bless me, you bless lives, basically. Like, I'm a channel. So if you're not going to bless lives because I'm not prioritizing material things, that's your loss. And I pray that God brings you to the place of understanding. And I just don't stress it anymore because it didn't make sense to me. So those things, it killed me. Oh, that thing, I left this nation. I say, I beg, let me even first of all find myself, because all I was just thinking about is, if we're still going to die and nothing is going to make sense, God, could carry me now. That was where I was. And I had traveled to the US. I was with my friend. All I was doing was crying, because the first month I was in Lagos and my mom was with me. So I had to suppress my emotions. And my therapist had said to me, because I was in therapy at the time, my therapist had said to me that you are experiencing compassion burnout, where you haven't even processed what has happened, but you're so worried about your mom and your brother. You know, and you need to process it so that you don't have
for
an outburst.
yourself.
Yeah. So when I traveled, it was like disconnecting from everything and everybody. I just needed to find myself again. God, who am I? Because the only thing that made sense to do at that time was God. I didn't know who else to talk to. I was in therapy, but it felt like
You can't understand.
you can't understand. Like, it felt like food. So I do the therapy. In that moment, I'm getting understanding of some things. And the moment I get off the phone, I feel lost again. So it's like, am I supposed to pay for 24 hours? How am I going to be doing it? You know, so I had to go back to my source. God, why? I had a lot of questions. But I remember that when my sister died or passed, there was one prayer that my dad said. He said, in all things, let's give thanks. So thank you for the life of this girl. Thank you for this. And I remember that the first day he passed, I had cried and everything. I just said, thank you. Because he lived a good life. That thing was in my brain. So as much as I was sometimes angry with God, like, God, why? I fasted, I prayed, which I had an encounter about as well. And God said to me, okay, you fasted, you prayed that your daddy should not die. But now you have died. Am I still not good? Do I stop being God because he's gone? Like, were you worshiping me because of his life? Or were you not? Like, now I'm trying to even now get it too. You know when your boyfriend is trying to say, oh, and it dawned on me, I'm like, God, no. My relationship and my love for you is not conditional. And I got a revelation as well where...
That's deep. Oh.
Bro, I got a revelation where he said something about like Job. And a friend of mine recently said it as well. And I just laughed. I said, you know this thing. And I'm grateful for the people that God is bringing into my life right now. She said, when God told Job the devil, whatever, do whatever you want to do, but don't go for Job's life. If for you to know that devil is very wicked, in one day, you now clear his entire family, took everything from him.
Very
and everything.
terrible story.
And Job was the only one that was left. It dawned on me, and it was a thing of, God can love you so much that he's like, this is the person I'm protecting. Every other person can go, but don't touch this one. But how do you attain that kind of love? Because I'm sure Job's wife and children too used to pray, but I don't know. Why didn't they have that? Do you understand? Why was it that God said, you can touch anybody else, but don't touch this? So it was like, maybe I got to the point where I said, you can touch Matthew now, but don't touch this thing. But then that was what I had at that time. And then later it dawned on me that no, this man could have died in different, I know at least 7-8 scenarios where my father could have died easily. That he didn't die. And
so it wasn't about that.
His assignment was done. There was a time he was in the hospital that he held my hands for like days. I think 2-3 days. 2 days. Where I was telling my mom, Daddy's holding my hand and everything. Priesthood was being passed. Don't, like, people say, you like to spiritualize it. There, life is spiritual.
Finish.
End of discussion. Life is spiritual. I feel like don't spiritualize it. It's okay.
That's your own.
Life is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Everything you want to see happens in the spiritual first before the physical. So God started to deal with me. He started, first of all, you think your identity is about the numbers you have, the money you have, the people you know, the connections you have, your mommy, your daddy, your brothers. Cut it.
It's about
your
me.
identity is in me. You are who I say you are. So you are loved. Because I say you are loved, you are loved. I'm like, okay. I started to receive that. And that was what happened for me in that 4 months. it was a rebirthing season. And when I came back on Instagram, I think I had put out a caption. Because most of my caption, I put them in my journal first before. Especially like crucial things like that, or maybe birthday posts for people that are very close to me. It's always in my journal first before I put it out on Instagram. It's a thing where it's like, your identity, God, Holy Spirit, help me to break this down. Your identity is centered around me. And I said, rock bottom is a perfect place for rebuilding. Because I literally, with my dad passing, I got to the end of myself.
And then you had to start again.
I had to start again. But this time around, I was now starting with God. Like, God is like, now you're done. Oh, you need my intervention? Okay, I'm there. And I will bring you up the right way. And that's what the journey has been. The past 2 years of my life, 2 years and a couple of months, it's been an interesting ride.
I mean, I don't even need to say, do you have a relationship with God? It's very obvious that you have a very strong, solid relationship with God. And you have gone through a whole process, starting from even as a child up to where you were at. And it shows so much strength and maturity and how you have even evolved. You keep showing us how you have evolved with your thinking. But let us end it on a more, how do I put it? Worldly,
Okay.
natural, phenomenon, which is love.
Oh,
Okay, actually,
that
is I mean, privilege of my own, knowledge. I know it's good and bad. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about relationship. Let's talk about marriage, and then we'll call it a wrap, right?
Love
now,
is agape.
Wait. Let's leave. We're not talking about God's love now. wait, what you appreciate. In terms of man-woman matter, I don't really know the depths of these stories, but I know at the time when we started working together, at least I know you were engaged.
Yeah.
Once, or was it twice? I think I saw two, but I think it's more than two. And at the time, we were not close enough for me to ask, like, girl,
what's going on?
Let's ring.
The first one saying a promise ring, so we cannot count them.
And I'm just like, there must have been something, there must have been something for you to accept those engagements. There must have been something for you to
break them
end it,
off.
because I don't think it was a case of you not being a lover girl, or you not wanting to be married, or you not wanting the concept of that. But I know that something happened in this, and I'm just very curious about it. Even now that there is now this solid relationship with God. So looking back at those relationships, what happened?
I would say the first one, distance. That's what we put it on. We put it on distance. But it wasn't distance for me. It was the fact that I had to find out that he wasn't coming back the way I did. It broke the trust. Because if you're leaving me and you say you're going for 2 weeks, and then I'm hearing from your brother that you're never coming back, and you don't plan to come back, and then I call you out on it and you're like, yeah, but then you want to make provision for me to come. I know you like your space, so I'll maybe get you like a studio apartment. I know you want to go to film school, so you can just go to film school. And I'm looking like, okay, don't they plan my life for me in country where I don't know anybody. Make I go there, go enter, go be, or what are you doing? And I'm like, I didn't have to find out somewhere else. You could have told me, because I felt like we were very close. So it was the
distance.
Yeah, he says distance. I say trust. Trust was broken. And I felt like he didn't have regard for me, because if you're planning to build your life with me, it's the dumbest thing ever. Bebo, these 2 weeks, the exam where I won't go right, if he be, we did deal. But
Finish.
You're saying, oh, you don't like to say things before they happen, because you don't know whether you will pass the exam. The boy doesn't sound like Momo to me, so I don't say, well, it's okay. It's okay. But we're good friends now. I'm just not good friends, but cordial friends. And then the second one, that one I really almost entered. I think we had even gotten an apartment together. We had already started, because we're going to get married that year and start living together, because I wasn't staying in Lagos. But COVID hit. So I'm part of the COVID people that God used COVID to open their eyes. So in the conquest of COVID, that we had to be in the same space, because it would come to Lagos on Thursdays and leave on Sundays, or come on Fridays and leave on Mondays, whichever works for him. There were certain things that I I already wasn't very comfortable with in the marriage and in the relationship. And it really, really distorted my opinion on marriage. That was when I started saying things on the show like, I beg, marriage is not the ultimate. I was wearing engagement when I was saying marriage is not the ultimate because he was feeling like the prize. But bro, I'm the prize here. Like, but I didn't see it that way. To me, I thought that it was the prize. When you wish out breakfast, say level, when the man comes, you say, oh God, you are prize. So
God, that big.
so that was what it was for me. Like, whoa, bro, that he would say manipulative things. And I didn't know they were manipulative. He would say things like, the reason why all your exes, they cheated on you and they got married to the person they cheated on you with is because they didn't see you as girlfriend. So when I'm telling you, don't come home anytime after 8 o'clock, it's because I see you as wife. So me today, I will have event that they will book me for. They will say event starts at 7. I say, if event starts at 7, they'll finish at 10. My boyfriend don't like it. I will say no to the event. So I started losing gigs. Yeah. And he started saying things to me about, I'm making sacrifices for you. I'm coming every weekend to Lagos to see you, to make sure we spend time because I really want this relationship to work and this and that. Me too, I was like, this boy is very dedicated. A whole 2 years. He come here every weekend. If he's sat there, if he's playing cash, if he don't die, God. And he was like, but I now come to Lagos. You're collecting bookings. You're going on set. You're going on this. But me, I'm now here in Lagos, wasting my time and not doing anything. You have to learn sacrifice. You have to learn compromise. So gigs will come, I will say no. So all I had now at that time was now my TV job, which wasn't paying a lot. You and I know that. So what I had going was my influencing, my hosting, everything was always. And this was like I would say the peak because God is bringing on that peak. But yeah, at the time it was like a peak season hot season. You get. I said, okay, if I have to make sacrifice, I have to. So when they call me, I say, I'm not available, but, do you know Amanda? Oh, do you know this person? I now recommend people. And they'll be like, okay. So those people started calling all those other people and they decided to stick to those people. And then me, I was now struggling. And I was feeling backward. And I became a bit dependent on him. And I was losing myself and gradually started to isolate me as well in friendships. Like, this person is not your friend. When we fought that time that I called her to report you, she said this. Me too, me and my best friend.
What's going on?
He was so gradually, and then all these people you're highlighting to me, you're forming a relationship with them. Then I stumbled on a video on YouTube about narcissists. I'm like, they're really describing this boy, but maybe it's just my mind. So I closed my mind again. And then by the time COVID hit, okay, before COVID, we broke up because I broke up with him and then I found out he was cheating. And this is somebody that will tell me, don't reply DMs. I'm like, DM, somebody can come for work. Subconsciously, that's how I stopped responding to DMs.
So he was controlling.
He was controlling, he was this. And then COVID hit and on one of those occasions, he hit me, which was kind of like maybe the third time. I'm like, nah, this one, it won't become pattern. This fine girl, my face will now become what? No. I said, nah, this is done. But I had to apply wisdom because we're already living together because we're supposed to get married that year before COVID hit. So I started during COVID because I had a media pass because I was going to work. I said, they go for media pass. I will call agents. They'll tell me, we can't follow you, but we'll give you the address. I started house hunting and I moved out. So it was shocked when COVID ended and I already got a place. And to apply wisdom, I kept fooling him like, oh, well, it's for 2 of us. It's for 2 of us, but later I had to break it. Oh, guys, it's not for 2 of us.
It's just for me.
It's for me. Lose my number. If you push me, I know that at some point, my manager at the time, we had to write reports at the police station, stand your order. Don't come close. 10 millimeter. I heard this 100 meter feet near me. It was that bad. It was that breakup really shook me as well.
So where is it? Where are you now currently? In the view of marriage and relation, are you healed? Are you open?
I mean, I'm healed and I'm I say hope. You're a bad girl. I'm healed. Healing is still going on because sometimes you not realize that there's a trigger here. So yes, I'm healing and I'm healed and ready to be honest.
Okay.
I'm healed and ready, but honestly, I'm now very critical. Like the standards have gone really high. Because where I'm at, I need you to be there spiritually, especially. Let's be there together. This generation is the generation where they feel like, Shebi, that's why they used to say, mommy is the mommy prayerful one. Oh God, no. You are gonna be a priest.
I'm not a priest.
I don't I'm not
So
looking
if
for
you're
an
coming to
apostle Selma or
Ariyiike, come with
something.
your
Jonas, I'm not
your
looking for a
collar.
pastor.
I
No.
understand.
Do you get what I mean?
But
But
with
have a
spiritual
genuine relationship with
relationship.
God. Know what you want from life, because you're not talking to a dummy. You're not dealing with a dummy. And also, there's that place of meeting people. A lot of men, they look macho and everything. But I have spoken to men that even have all the billions and this. A lot of them are intimidated. They have inferiority complex. They have complex issues. And they feel like they're able to use them, but they didn't go through all the trauma very well. They now decided to go and gather money, thinking to suppress it, but God can see through your money. The things you are saying is not making sense. Like I say, you can use your money to buy anybody. Maybe you think that will impress me because I'm a Lagos gay. You said that on first date. I not pick call again. You can't use your money to buy anybody. What does that even mean? So just stupid things that maybe I felt like, you didn't really mean it.
Now you take it seriously.
I take it seriously. I take it very seriously. You are either, and as one of my mentors will say, you're either coming correct or you don't come at all.
That's a period. Thank you, Ariyiike.
Thank you,
this has
Mandy.
been very open. This has been very...
And I did not cry.
And you did not... I'm so proud of you.
They brought tissue. They said, I didn't cry. I didn't cry. But Holy Spirit said,
Ariyiike is in a healed era.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love it so much.
Thank
I'm happy to
you.
see and be a privilege of seeing you grow and seeing you evolve and seeing
Thank
your
you.
mentality, just
Change.
mature.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wisdom in
Thank
things that
you.
you say. And I hope that you guys watching actually gain a lot, because there's a lot of lessons that she has said, talking from money to relationships to spiritual relationship, even with God. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, follow, everything. Do. Because
Please.
we need your help. If you don't
do.
do it, how do we bring more episodes to you?
And you are very entitled. We say, bring more episodes. Do the parts. Do
it.
your own part. Then we'll bring more episodes.
That's late. All right.
Thank you.
The Open Up Podcast Season 3 Global Edition is brought to you by Credit Direct.